bam, there we are, and it's Michael and Federico and Sam, and yes, it's a Tuesday, yes, and are you all inducted properly, Federico?
What do you mean?
Oh, I mean, like sorry, the Britishism, like you started uh, graduate school on Monday. I thought that was you had a busy day on Monday, because
Oh, yeah, yes. Inducted. First day of classes, yeah.
yeah, yeah, indeed. So yeah, you're all set up and ready to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good stuff. Yes, and I had a relatively relaxing. Well, I was looking after I was babysitting my nieces while my sister went to a wedding on Sunday, and then I took my kids to the stunt park yesterday, and it's Tuesday, and it's back to coding, coding, coding. Yes,
What's the holiday? The bank holiday?
this is the August bank holiday in the UK. That is, we don't have a lot of these like 3-day weekends in the UK. I think you have slightly more in the US, but then you have less holiday time overall. Um, I don't know what is there. There's no August bank holiday. I'm just trying to work out if there's some kind of like, is it religious or anything? No, it's just like it always seems to be the bank holiday that we had at the end of the summer. But there you go. Do you guys have a 3-day weekend coming up soon?
Yes, this.
Labor Day.
Yeah.
Labor Day. Oh yeah, that's this
Yeah,
coming
Labor
weekend.
Day weekend.
Is it this coming weekend?
Yes.
Ah, okay, right. Just out of sync with us. Yeah, so I'm just reading. Apparently, the August one is a statutory bank holiday from 1971. Yeah, it just who knows why. I guess they were saying we were all working too hard. And Labor Day in the US is for people to have a rest and not work.
Vacation.
Right, indeed.
Trips.
So not a Labor Day in some sense, or look, depends on how hard work your family is. Anyway, we're here to talk about Elixir. Um, yeah, we were getting set up with Elixir, weren't we, last week? I
Yep.
threw the code up. I don't know, Michael, if you pulled that down. Um, did you do any more since the last session, Federico?
No, no.
No, no, me neither. Um, so I think we had everything working on your Ubuntu box, didn't we?
Pretty much. If I had time, I was gonna install npm install
Yeah,
node. Yeah,
that's right.
but I didn't get a chance to do that.
No worries. Yes, you were still working with, but it was interesting to see how it was sort of the asset pipeline there that doesn't work because Phoenix is relying on the asset pipeline. But so yeah, and I blocked. So we've got. So is Mix Phoenix server then like? So the point that I got to. Am I not in the right place now? Ah, I've got multiple things here. Oh no, this is the place here. Okay, this is the one I pushed up for Michael. Yes, that was creating the database. We've got Mix Phoenix server. Yes. So I think this was the point that I had got to. We both got it working. Um, was trying to get. Let me pull that away here and get a new window. Was like what we had working was simply the kind of default page, and we were into the next set. So this is like Phoenix getting started. And that's that dangerous. Don't click that first link. No, bad. Uh, we've got up and running, and then it's up to now build some custom pages, which we have not yet done. But I had started following the instructions here. I thought to add some things to this router controller here. Are you do you want to do the same things in parallel, Federico, and we'll see how far we can get?
Well, would you like to sort of? I guess it'll take a second to install node. Uh, well, I guess I don't have to do that.
Oh no, we can do that. We could focus on doing that, getting that
But
working on yours first.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, sort of as a refresher for you, just
Mm.
walk through the steps that you already did. The point back up to where I am, basically.
Sure. Yeah, so I mean, I had Node already installed, so I didn't
Right.
need to do that, although obviously I would have installed it some time ago. But so, yeah, and actually you've got the history there of the stuff that you did, which is cool.
Yeah.
Um, but so we need to get you set up with Node on Ubuntu.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how long that'll take a minute, won't it?
Yeah, well, probably the thing to do is to sort of kick it off. I mean, I imagine what we want to do is like apt get install Node, um, and then we can leave it running in the background while we look at the other bits of code. Um,
Are you caught up, Michael?
Michael, did you take some of the code and play around with it?
I'm trying to do that right now.
Okay.
There's some errors with
Oh yeah.
Hello Phoenix Hello controller. It's saying it
Yeah. So if you've pulled the
not
code,
loading, not be found.
yeah. So I think that code that's in the repo,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not. It's in that state. It's like we haven't yet successfully customized the thing to make it work. So if you wanted to quickly uh, avoid that issue, so controller ex. Uh, it's strange. So I'm getting that error as well.
But it doesn't matter. Like it's not.
Well, I wasn't getting that error when so the warning. This clause cannot match a previous clause at line 1, and that's web router x. The code that I added. Let me have a look for the router x here. Was I added this hello controller according to the instructions, which I will just remove. Uh, and let's see, hello
And I'm just doing npm install right now. It's just taking a really long time for some reason.
sure. Interesting. Even just the does it allow me to comment that out? I'm just okay. Yeah. So basically, by removing all of the custom code that I added, which is these two files, there was a line. Oh, that I was not router. So let's come back to that. Let's comment them out like so. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So basically, the process that we were going through was to add this hello controller, and where we got to the end of the session was I had added that line there, and I had added the contents of that file, and then we kind of stopped, and I hadn't. Oh, I think I ran it, and it got that error. But so let's just check here. Yeah. So this is the Phoenix working with its thing there. So if you just want to check that Phoenix is working locally for you, Michael, then that's what you'd want to do. So how are you doing there, Federico? Is basically npm is running, installing away in the background, is it?
Node.js, yeah. What is it? Node install npm
Quite possibly.
or Node.js? Wait, no, it's not.
Uh, oh,
You got it.
I'm just looking at. You may need to sudo. You need to apt-get install the npm, possibly. Uh,
Wait, let me check.
Although there's a node, it says use the node.js installer.
Okay, there it is. I got it. Sudo apt-get install npm.
Yeah. All right, so that'll be whizzing away in the background. Michael's just having a look around in the code. Yeah. But while that's spinning, I'm just going to have a look back through changes that presumably I've done something wrong. I will kill that process. Kill. Control C on it twice. And run the Phoenix server. So yeah, so here we get. So I guess one thing I've done wrong immediately. Sorry about that. I thought I had set up Chrome so that I couldn't accidentally press Command Q and shut the entire thing down, but it appears that I have yet to get it to a completely foolproof state. So Phoenix being started. Don't click the first link.
How many tabs did you have open, Sam?
I think it was, not more than 30 or 40. It was a light tab day for me.
Okay.
So going back to here, right? I think what I did there is I've set the hello controller to have the same root as the page controller, and I think it's complaining about that. Up and running. Next step: customizing application. Here we go. Page controller. Right. So I'm supposed to call it hello. Right. Error 1. Okay. So
Yeah,
now it.
I got it working to some degree.
Oh yeah.
Seems like the pipeline is not working.
The Python is not working.
The pipeline, like the app.js and everything.
Okay. Right, for you. And you're on OS X.
Yes.
Yes. But you're installing npm in the background, or Node in the background, right?
I thought it had installed completely.
Ah. Okay. So there may be some other steps there. I'm just going to have a look here. So I've added the thing, and then the new controller. So for me, I'm just comparing these two. I can't see any difference between the code that I'm supposed to put in hello controller.ex and the code that's present there. I think I have to create a view as well, although the error is saying module hellophoenix.web is not loaded and could not be found. Hello controller, Phoenix.hello controller. Interesting.
Isn't it in the web directory?
So yeah, we're in the web directory. We've got web, and then controllers, and then hello controller. So I mean, I've followed their instructions here: web/controllers hello_controller.ex, and I've written this out. I mean, I could.
What's the
Yeah.
error message? What's the problem?
The error message at the moment is it's saying on line 2 of this thing, we're saying use hellophoenix.web, and it's saying module hellophoenix's web is not loaded and could not be found.
It's the use method.
Yeah, so this, I mean, there's, I mean, I was noting before that there's a difference in that in this case we called it Phoenix test, and in this case it's called Hello Phoenix. And I was sort of slightly surprised by that difference, and I wonder if that may relate to the tutorial there being an issue. Uh, they go on. But rather than necessarily diving along on my path, I was going to check how. All right, so I can see from your screen, Federico, that the node's going along there in the background. Michael, when you say you got it working by commenting out the stuff that I was mentioning, presumably. Yeah, to get that was where we got Federico to. So
Okay, looks like I'm good.
This is what I'm saying. So
yeah, that looks exactly like what
and
Federico
it's
was
kind of like
seeing.
it's
Sorry,
telling
go
me to run. So I found somewhere on the documentation it said to do branch build.
on.
So I did that, and it was like, oh, you need to upgrade your node
Right.
to use Brunch 2 Plus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now I'm trying to work on that.
Okay. Cool. And Federico, yeah, it looks like your npm is installed.
Right.
So I guess you could run the server again and see if the asset pipeline is
Okay, so that was mix. What was it?
Phoenix.server, I
Phoenix.
think.
Right. Okay, so I need to okay.
Oh, okay, right. So yeah, you need to npm install in the. I think you need Control C again, actually. There. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So npm install in that directory will install the. Now you have node and npm.
Right.
It'll give you your things. There we go. So that'll run in the background. Yeah. Now for me, let's get rid of that. For me, I mean, it's also saying. I mean, I, I, I haven't necessarily completely finished their instructions about. It hasn't said like look at the thing yet. It's talking first about creating a view. Um, so it's saying I want to create a view in web view. So I guess I'm just going to go ahead and do that rather than trying to debug, something that maybe isn't complete yet. So I'm going to put this is a hello.
How did you get that error message? What was the command?
Well, I was getting that error message from doing the same the mix Phoenix.server that you're doing,
Okay.
but just from adding this, I added this line. This is first following the instructions about adding this custom page. I added this line to create a new route, and then I added this new controller, and that by itself was not enough to make the whole thing work. But maybe it's not supposed to be. Maybe that error that I got there is a reflection of the fact that I don't have the view yet. So we'll just try throwing that in as well. See, if they had these, well, I wonder if the tutorial does exist somewhere on GitHub so that we could be submitting pull requests to it, but view. Okay, so it seems like we need, for a view, we actually need a view entity as well. And then separately, we want to have the template, which is going to go in web templates page, new file there. And that's going to be called, oh, and actually we need, it seems like we need page templates. Oh, that needs to be in a directory called hello. That ended up searching for a directory instead of creating one for me. Let's try again. New folder. Hello. And in there, we'll create a new file. And that's going to be called index.html.ex. And that's going to have And this is vanilla HTML, which I know quite well. So I'm just going to copy and paste that over. Right. So I'm going to try and restart the Phoenix server. Yeah, and I'm still getting the same error, despite having added all of those things in there. How are you doing, Federico?
It gave me the same npm message.
Hmm.
Can I start Node Watcher?
Could not start Node Watcher because that script
Okay, I
does
think
not exist. Go on.
I think I need to create that script actually with one of the commands. What's the website for the? Is it this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's installation. No, wait. But either way, I'm just gonna, I guess, do that in parallel. Try to fix that in parallel. But
Sure. Yeah,
I can get, yeah,
go
I
on.
can get going to try and catch up with you.
I'm just looking at this is a GitHub issue related to your issue that you have there. Did you find a next step there for yourself?
No, let's see what happened. See, I got all these errors.
I wonder if the thing to do is to maybe recreate like when you first created the app, you didn't have Node and npm installed. Uh, I guess that all right. You got a series of errors when you ran npm install? Yeah, it might make sense to kind of just create a new app and kind of start from scratch there, because like that script that it's looking for, maybe that would have been created had Node been available when that first installation process ran.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. One of the commands. Let's see here. Maybe. Let's see. No.
I think it was 39 there, the mix Phoenix new Hello Phoenix.
Okay, well that's just to create it all again.
You don't oh right, you think there's something after that we could have done?
Yeah, maybe not. Actually, I think there was something to do with the branch directory. See, the error message is what is it? Because script non-modus branch does not exist. Oops. No branch. No, actually, I did that. Yeah, I'm not sure. What's the name of your app? It's not. Is it Hello Phoenix?
I think I did it Phoenix_test. Maybe it should
Okay.
have been Hello Phoenix, and that's why I'm in trouble now.
You know what? That might be a reason because Hello Phoenix, the actual app name is used a bit in the actual code.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah, let me just.
All right, I caught up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you encounter Michael? Did you encounter the same thing as Federico?
What you said.
Like
What did he encounter? I wasn't paying attention to that part.
well, so he's installed Node and then npm, and
Okay.
now he ran npm install in the Phoenix directory, which I assume is what you might have also have done. But then he's running when he runs Phoenix, it says could not start Node Watcher because script, some kind of script, a branch script does not exist.
No. That's interesting.
Hello Phoenix.
But he had it running before.
Yeah, but the without the assets compiling, and what we're working on for him now is getting the assets compiling. I guess it does say if
There's
we've
an
complete.
additional step where you do brunch build.
Right. Yes, that's a possibility. I was going to say, Federico, by reading on the error message, it says, you may be able to fix this by running npm install. I guess you also got some specific errors when you ran npm install. So maybe that's actually the problem. Maybe we need to fix your npm setup before this will work.
Uh, yeah. Do you know how this translates? I know I read in the Programming Phoenix book that you need Node 5.3 or higher. I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't know how this translates to this version number here.
Yeah, me neither. I
That
mean,
node version is way, I don't know. I had like 12 or something, and it was saying it wasn't good enough.
yeah.
Oh, really?
But
If
presumably that's not good enough for the assets.
do you want to run node minus v from a terminal and just like obviously that ran as part of npm there, but maybe shut down the server.
Yeah, I can do it up here. Uh,
Yeah, I had
it's a
0.12.4, and it was saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good enough for what we need."
Uh, so, I mean, I guess you ran their apt-get install node or Node.js, and that would have installed the latest stable. But maybe it, you said you'd done apt-get upgrade or update fairly recently, hadn't you?
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Go on, Federico.
Well, I did it just now right before npm because it asked me to, and last Thursday I did it as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that wouldn't be an
so
issue.
what I did to get my node updated was I did n stable.
But isn't that 4.5 or something like that?
It'll get you to 6.4.
Oh, really? Okay.
Um,
Uh,
Yeah, I've
how'd you
got
do
a.
it?
Oh,
that's what it did for me.
well,
Oh,
Michael's
I'm
on
sorry.
OS X. Michael's on OS
Okay,
X.
okay, okay, okay.
I've got a Stack Overflow post here, which is about specifically installing the latest Node.js version on Ubuntu. Um, and I guess like they're like you, like this person is saying they do sudo apt-get install Node.js, and they get version 0.10.37, which is close to you. And then there's an accepted answer with 27 votes that actually says go and install, like you can specifically install Node.js 4, 5, or 6 here, and it gives you like uh,
Okay. Yeah. Let me let me do that. Um, Actually, I don't think I have curl on this, do I? No.
so I'll let you see if you can get those in there. And
What did you type in? Let me look it up so I can copy it too.
oh yeah, with the
Like
I just
the
putting in
keywords.
the keywords that I was just looking for was uh, latest stable version of
Save.
there. But so Michael, you were saying that you're up to date, so you've got the server running and then assets compiling, but then presumably you're still getting the same error for this, you know, the thing that I had checked out.
I Yeah, I commented all that stuff out with the
Yeah,
controller and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and I think based on our discussion so far, what I'm thinking is that the key thing here that I've got different is I've called my thing Phoenix Test rather than Hello Phoenix, and that is the source of my problem. I'm just going to assess that hypothesis and find yes, that's it. Does indeed seem to be the problem. Although, I'm getting some other generalized errors. that don't mean very much to me at the moment.
Oh, just because you haven't. Or wait, let me see.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, the thing is now working. I'm getting two errors relating to compiling of Babel preset ES 2015. I think we might have had these before. They're not blocking errors, but yeah. So I've got the Hello World from Phoenix. The custom page is working for me.
Okay, that's good.
What I'll just do there is I will push that up, and maybe that will work for you as well, Michael. And view slash template. Okay. So that should be, assuming GitHub has not just died. No, yes. That should be up on its way, Michael, and you could, in principle, pull that out, and maybe that would run locally for you.
All right.
And I see there from Federico, you've got a big load of node source coming down. You're going for the version 6, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm not sure which version would come down on Node 5, and if it is true that Node 5.3 is necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it might be the right way. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, I've learnt something specific there about, and this often happens with a tutorial, having deviated from it slightly. I discovered that effectively we have this kind of boilerplate, which is so that this is namespacing the name of the app here is Phoenix Test, and so we're defining here the module to be called Hello Controller. And interestingly, this is interesting then, though, the sort of the fact that we're going to make this a controller entity, like by itself, we've just defined the module name there, and I guess this is sort of effectively we're mixing in the controller paraphernalia, but we talk about .web there in the context of our app rather than just like a plain use the web thing, which I think is interesting. Oops, broken it. And similarly there in the view itself, or at least the little stub that appears to be necessary to support the view. And let me just have our HTML, which is now working there. Were you able to pull that out and make that work, Michael?
Yeah. What is it supposed to do differently?
Oh, if you just now put /hello on the end of the URL, we've basically got a custom endpoint where that's it, where we've served a page which could now be edited or manipulated or what have you. So it's a very simple first step there. Okay. So, and I guess, I mean, entirely up to you, Federico. You could be, grabbing the code that I created, which it's very, very simple and trivial. There's almost no changes in it. Or, of course, you could be, wanting to type these kind of custom bits in by hand yourself.
Yeah, I think I'll try that, like you said, for muscle memory.
Cool beans. See what the next. Well, I guess in having. Well, have I jumped forwards and backwards? No, I've gone back to the previous. Let's have a look here. So I kind of skimmed over like its descriptions of these latest things in my desire to hardly fixed the error. Okay, no, I've confused this. Why does it say welcome Phoenix there? Huh? That's strange. Okay, so this seems to be this is the page that you just get it running on. And then this is adding pages, new controller, new view. Okay, and then all right, it follows on to do another new page subsequently. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to read what it says here about views. Okay. Okay, and I guess the view little module that they have is a place where they might put helpers and things for the view. Fair enough. Double EEX is embedded Elixir. Okay. Yeah, and then it's so given that we've got that working, there's some interesting things to note about what we just did. We didn't need to stop and restart the server while we made these changes. I did stop and restart it, but I guess hot code reloading. Okay, apparently. And I guess I can just test that by saying hello world from Phoenix. Hello, let's do hello universe. There. Oops, I've stopped the server. That's silly.
Everything that's in the web folder gets automatically reloaded.
Yes, I remember reading that. I thought I would check that it is, and in fact, also the page is not only is it's actually live within the browser. The browser is live reloading,
Right.
like a bit like we have set up for Middleman, which is a nice feature. Yeah, so that's a nice feature. And it's just telling us here the index template is rendered, so we've got an app template somewhere, which it's saying is in the layout. So we've got a layout page, which is, we've got it rendering the main view module template, etc. Okay. All right. So Federico, are you you're about to start writing some code there, are you?
Yes, I'm updating npm.
Yeah, I mean that might take.
So I got 6.4 going.
Oh, cool.
Node, and it still gave me this error when I restarted that.
It looks like, am I wrong, or it looks like npm install hasn't completed there in the other window?
No, it has. npm? No, npm. I did download. I don't know what version, but I'm doing an update right now.
Right.
So.
But so that looks like so you run npm install there, but it's got permission denied errors, hasn't it?
I think I forgot sudo. Yeah, I forgot sudo. What'd you say, Michael?
I said it looks like a permission error.
Yeah.
Did you ever at any point use sudo?
Right, that's what I just did.
He's using it now. I think that there's a school of thought that says that we want to try and avoid using sudo with npm install, but often it's very tempting just to make it work.
I think the problem with sudo is that it actually changes the owner of the files, right?
Right.
And then, like, other users in the future have trouble accessing those files.
Indeed. I think it's a separate. It's a challenging one that with I think I got away without using it this time. there's a, I mean, there's a whole thing here about fixing NPM permissions. The kind of thing that the apt-get, one would hope that it would take care of. Anyhow, I'm just going to step away. Oh, go on, Federico.
No, I was just wondering if maybe this little command right here will update everything once I get it going. And
right, update the dependencies, maybe.
Okay, looks like I'm good on NPM.
All right, I'm just going to step away for a second. I'll be back momentarily.
Okay. Sure.
All right, how's that going there?
So there's the link to that docs that you probably found too, Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I think when if you're on LSX, then if you use Brew, it
Right, it handles it for you.
handles it for you.
It's maybe more complicated on Ubuntu. But yeah, it looks like you ran the mix deps get there, didn't you, Federico?
Yes, it's all dependencies up to date. And I tried restarting the server, and I hadn't done this step yet, npm install.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Okay,
seeing if
yeah.
that does it.
Okay.
How far along are you on the actual page on the guides?
Well,
You're
basically, we've completed that page that you're on there, which is up and running. We completed that page. And then on the next page, which is called adding pages, we're basically halfway through. So the first part of it has showed how to add a static page, and then it's now going to show us some little additional complexity, which I guess I'm tempted to go on to if while we wait for your npm to install, or we could focus on you adding a few bits of code to your app if you
right.
prefer.
Yeah, but it might take me a little bit.
Yeah, and also it's one of the things that if you're fiddling with the npm in the background, you don't necessarily want to make changes to another part of the app.
So I guess you can move on. I can just sort of look over what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I'll just. Oh, what's happened there? Yeah. So this is looking very familiar. It's basically letting me. It's suggesting that I set up a route here, where this seems very like Sinatra, where we specify what looks like it's going to be a variable in the route itself, and we're now specifying a new action in the controller, which is going to link up like this. And so now, okay, so before we weren't using params, now we're actually going to get into a bit of a Elixir magic. So we're going to, oops, This is
It's a map.
now I know from indeed a map. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be using this matching process, I think, whereby what we're doing here is by declaring this as the method variable, then the income, like we're going to get an incoming map from the system, and that map is going to be kind of merged, and then this variable that's inside the map is going to take on the value of what was coming in through the URL. So that's a little bit different from Sinatra. And we're going to get that available for the view, and presumably there we go. Yeah, so the equal sign there is. Did I miss out something there? It's saying I could have. Note: if the body of the action needs access to the full map of parameters bound to the params variable, we could define show2 like this. Right. It's a pattern match operation. We pattern match against the params passed in. Okay. Yeah, I would have thought. Okay, anyway.
You know,
go on.
just to comment, something that I read in the book is that they use in the actual parameters on that map, they use a string instead of an atom, which is like a symbol.
Yeah, indeed.
And I guess that's practice for this for the actions.
Yeah, and it mentions that here. Yes, the map will always be strings, which is interesting. Rails often represents those as strings. I sometimes get confused with what it's doing. But so now if we go to we've got our hello. Is that also called in there? Right, there we go. So we can now do the standard from, and this looks very ERB. We can stick that in there, and we can get a messenger variable available. And I've spelt it wrong, I expect. The hello controller there. Messenger. No? Okay. So, assign at messenger. Not available. Is that because it needs to be a show page? Have I not followed the instructions properly?
By the way,
yes. Yeah, it should be show. I was updating the existing one for dryness, and that's not the way it should be. So I guess what I should do here is reveal that in the Finder, duplicate it, call it show, like so, and then go back to here, back out the changes from this one, and so right, I guess it's the hello, and we're going to say hello, Federico, and that doesn't work. No matching action clause to process request. That's supposed to be the action clause. Show con messenger.
You have 3 S's in your 21. Line 21 of the router.
Yeah.
It's like 3 S's.
Good catch. Now that doesn't seem to automatically update, but yes, that seems to be the problem. Woo! All right. So we have done that. Go on, Federico.
No, it's just I'm all set. That worked.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I just need to get this iNotify. I'll do that later. That's just so it can on Ubuntu, so it can automatically reload, kind of like you have.
Oh yeah, but that's nice. So you've got all of the asset pipeline building there, looking good.
So I don't know whether to just how much time do you guys have? There's
Um, what is it now? It's coming up to for my time. We usually run a stand up in about 50 minutes from now. So yeah, I mean, how much time do you have?
well, I mean, we're kind of in a flow. I kind of would like to continue, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
if you guys have website one stuff to do, that's fine. I could just continue here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I don't think we have like uber urgent work to do. We're sort of well, we're sort of partly on. We're hoping to coordinate with Armando soon to work out what's happening with Project Scope. Um, yeah, I mean, certainly. Michael, how are you for time and availability?
I'm available. I
Yeah.
mean, with Armando, it's not something that you would need to be in a room with. Wow.
No, well, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think, yeah, there's a possibility that he'll come on later on and say, we need this. I mean, other things.
He is on Slack right now,
Is he?
apparently.
Is he? Well, yes, yes.
Wow. Anyway, let's.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the things that are going on in my head are one that what's it? Well, we've got the order graders are down at the moment, and I've got an outstanding thing with edX. I mean, there's always more things we should be doing on website one. Um, do you want to Federico? Do you want to try and make the next set of changes, or you were saying you should do that? Yeah, I'm convinced. It's kind of up to you, Federico. Yeah, I guess obviously you could be carrying on alone, or you could be carrying on, and we could all be in the same space, or there are so many options. Uh, I tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to push up the latest code that I've done and onto the repo there. So and we can probably. Do I have a .gitignore file? Um, I'm going to slap VS Store in there. I guess the other thing is, yeah, Federica, how are you looking for the rest of the week or next week, or what's your thoughts going? Do you want to work out some other time slots in which to pair, or is this what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. How often do you wanna work on this?
Well, it would be great to get through to the end of the tutorial. You know, yeah, I mean, you've kind of built up you've been paying for Premium Plus for a while, so I'm like happy to make time for your sessions, until you run out of credit, kind of thing. The Yeah, so but I think it's great for us to do these sessions and make progress. And if we get to a point where we can say, oh yes, let's build a non-toy Phoenix app of some kind, that's great all round. Um,
Well, I think that's the goal. I mean, I think
mm,
right.
yeah, yeah, totally. Um,
I mean, I think the idea was to do this because there's not a whole lot of documentation, kind of a motivator to
mm,
to learn it, right?
mm,
And then eventually work on a project.
yeah, I mean, I think we should spend. I mean, it's for Michael and I now. There's probably um, not a big chunk of pairing that we can necessarily do. Is there something on your mind, Michael, that you wanted to work on? Did you already say no to that question?
Not really.
No. Okay. Well, I would say, why don't we? Should we carry on for half an hour and at least make sure that are able to get to the same place in the code that we're up to, Federico?
Okay, that would be great. I'm already at adding pages at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so it's just I won't read through this. So, um, This is talking about the directory stuff. Yeah, I've already read about that.
Mhm.
So, okay, so let's go to the router. Did you do this part?
Yep. Well, and that I think that's showing us what we already have in the router. But yeah, you should definitely check you can find that existing code. Michael, I pushed up the latest code with the dynamic URL thing. If you care to run that, pull it out and see if that runs locally on yours.
Uh, I'll pass on that. Okay, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Michael. Always good to know that things run on more than one machine.
Yeah, I guess you talking through yours is makes the pairing a little more interesting than me just reading.
Yes, I have this blessing or curse, which is this basically I think and I speak at the same time, um, which is either desperately annoying or very useful depending upon circumstances. Um, but yes, so I guess
See
it.
too.
Go on.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so I need to add this right here.
Exactly.
The route right above, no, right below the natural one.
Mm,
So I need to add colorization for this
mm.
Ubuntu box. Uh, oh, and you know what? I'm not gonna be able to.
Well, you
I
type.
have.
I would type it out by hand there rather than copying and pasting.
Oh, you're right. Because usually I have it set up
Mm,
on my usual box to just push the insert button. I'm
mm-hmm.
pretty sure that will not work. Nope. It's like a script you have to add to a file.
Mm.
So yeah, I'll just type it out.
Yeah.
So, how much experience do you have, Michael, with Elixir?
Uh, Not very much. I've written like just a toy palindrome command line app.
Okay.
I was trying to learn it a couple weeks ago, but really not that much.
Okay, yeah. So I'm not sure if because you just downloaded where Sam was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know how useful this will be for you to watch this.
Yeah, I think Michael's just hanging out.
Okay. So now we go to controller. Let's create the new controller. It's
we tend to learn through osmosis here. And, maybe.
Yeah, and particularly if you run into trouble of some description there, Federico, and we can help you solve it, then that's a process of value to us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and this one's totally blank.
So, and you called your app Hello Phoenix, did you?
Yeah, so I should not have that problem that you had.
Yeah.
So, wait a second. Did you say you completed this adding pages?
Yeah.
You got all the way to the bottom? Okay, so I'm about halfway.
Yeah. So just
Okay.
type that and don't feel self-conscious. It's all, it's all good. I mean, the other thing, the meta thing in the background for Michael and I is particularly for me, is working out how, we make this Premium Plus experience so enticing and exciting that basically people around the world are falling over themselves wanting to do it and to make Azure Ventures into a sustainable charity business.
Capital W. Yeah, yeah, it's sort of an agile thing, right? Comma, to work on that. I'm no good at typing and talking.
No worries. It's a strange skill.
Yeah, it is a skill. It's not a curse.
Well, I don't know. Michael might disagree with that. Yeah. But yes, it's sort of. It seems to be one of the bedrocks of Agile that the idea that rather than saying right, what everybody will love is this, and then you spend lots and lots and lots of time making that thing, and then discovering that people don't love it, is you kind of like try little things out and you try and get early feedback quickly, and then make relatively small changes to improve it going forward.
Right. I heard all that, and I'm done with this.
Yeah, looks good. Yep.
So apparently in Elixir,
Oh,
you
Jesus. I forgot to make the folder controller. I don't think it's web.
can overload your functions in Elixir,
Hmm.
and
I'm sorry, what?
see, I was just commenting on how every time I've seen functions described in Elixir, they put the name of the function and a forward slash, and then like what I perceive as the number of arguments to the function, which implies that you can have the same function name with different numbers of arguments.
Hmm. Right. That makes
Whereas
sense.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to.
whereas you can't really do that in Ruby.
No, right. Although you can basically have an argument in Ruby, and you can switch based on the yeah. But no, that's more like Java, where you can have. I think you can do it in Java because well, at least in Java you can have constructors with the same name that have different numbers of incoming arguments.
Okay, I see what I did wrong. I forgot the S right here when I typed it all in before.
Easily done. Easily
So,
done. But so does the... Oh, right, right. You're doing... Interesting.
oops, oh, Jesus.
So if you've done mkdir there, yeah, doesn't that make that hello control as a directory?
What's that?
You did like I mean, maybe that's my Unix things. You did mkdir there with a file name at the end of it, which I'm used to using mkdir only to make directories. But
No, that was a mistake. That
oh,
was
okay. Oh, right, right. And so you're backing out of it. Yeah. Oh, cool.
yeah. I meant to do vim
Vim, yeah.
command vim. Yeah. So now, okay. So this already had some stuff in it. Oh wait. Did yours have all this?
No,
No.
no. I think there's I think as a result of having made it into a directory, I think
Right.
you then open it in Vim. It's kind of doing something weird. It's like either trying to interpret it as giving you the list of things that are in the directory.
So let me just remove that.
I think you can do rmdir, rmdir.
Okay. Okay. Let me try that. There we go.
Yeah, much cleaner.
Okay. Didn't quite get that. No, okay. Now reset.
So yeah, then you'll need the little view thing.
Okay. Let me check that. Did you have to create that view?
Yeah, that's a new file that you'll
So
need to
that way,
create
right?
from scratch.
Okay.
So there's an interesting difference there with Sinatra, where Sinatra bears no immediate equivalent of that. And I guess the interesting thing here is that what's definitely different from Sinatra is Phoenix, with its generation approach, provides a very specific layout of, you put files in controller, views, templates, whereas Sinatra runs potentially just off a single file. There's much less overhead associated with it. So I guess I'm starting to see Phoenix as being somewhere in between Phoenix and Rails. Oh, sorry, yeah. Phoenix as being somewhere in between Sinatra and Rails in terms of its, the type of thing that it is.
Well, Phoenix is opinionated, right?
Yes, yes, but not as
Yeah.
opinionated as Rails. In as
Got it.
much, yeah. I mean, the way in which that we have set the routes up there to map from a specific URL to a controller is far more reminiscent of Sinatra than of Rails.
Right.
Although, and I'm just so interestingly, the getting to the end of the page that Federico is just working through, having created that slightly more dynamic element, the next thing it goes on to is what's the word here? It's like, well, it actually doesn't link to the next page, and the next page in the sequence is now just an overview of routing in general. So it's kind of it's I sort of thought that it might continue developing that app further, but it doesn't. It just goes on to talking about routes, and then it has a routes framework with routes helpers that's actually more reminiscent of Rails than it is of Sinatra.
Okay, so now I'm going to create the template. Isn't this where you started today?
Pretty much, yeah. Creating that template and that view thing were at the beginning there. Actually, what I'm thinking is that while you're doing that, I might try and see if I can deploy this thing to Heroku, because that's really really the key thing. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and try and do that in the background. That's the real, it's the real deal. Yeah, so while you're getting the HTML in there, I've just set up for Heroku. I've created a AV-Phoenix test app using the hash new Heroku build pack for Elixir. And I have added also a Phoenix static build pack. And it's now asking me to make some changes to various config files in order to do the deploy. Woohoo. So interesting. Endpoint. Okay. And so, oh yeah, looks like you've got that working there, Federico. Great stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I need the layout stuff. Okay.
Well, I think there's no changes required there. It's just drawing your attention to how that layouts work. And then it moves on to the next stage, which is like creating a different page that's a bit more dynamic.
The show action. Okay. So you say you're considering Phoenix for website 1 at all to break up the monolith? Or?
Well, we're about to. I mean, we're about to try and basically have a project microservice that's also being built in Rails in the moment in the first instance to break it up. Um, and then I guess the having broken up the monolith, individual elements of that monolith can be more easily rewritten in other languages. Um, I mean, it's an interesting question there between just doing it in another language just to show that it can be done that way, versus are the specific features of that language actually going to deliver some value as part of that stack. Michael had suggested, writing our own chat system, which I think is the kind of thing that would actually make use of features of
either that or either the chat or the Hangouts, the part of the app that integrates with
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Hangouts.
You're right. Yeah, go on.
Have a lot of communication
Mm.
back and forth from the users.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. We do have like a lot of incoming connections from the Hangout system, and yeah. Oh, I think what we would love to have is as well, we would like to be able to support kind of like a WebSocket-like framework so that pages in the main site didn't go out of date. Anyway, yeah, the all of the pages would be updated about the status of the Hangouts and so on.
Yeah.
Which is also a kind of a load issue, isn't it?
Although, to what degree you would actually need Phoenix is questionable. And to what degree it is just the architecture of breaking it up. It's just the act of breaking it up, presumably, makes it easier to scale. If that makes sense. Like, for instance, when we when you have when you have everything in one monolith, it's harder to really know. It's harder to have control over and say, oh, we're going to scale. You can't just scale for Hangouts. You know what I mean? Because it's all one giant process.
You got to have like someone coordinating the whole thing overall, right? Because it's basically when you're doing microservices, it's basically teams, right? When you break up a section in teams, so you have to have someone overviewing the teams to coordinate the whole thing. You can't just
you
one
have to
team.
you have to you have to define clear interface boundaries between the different microservices, and to the extent that they're clear and respected, then that's all good. I mean, I think that the issue in some ways is that in principle the level of scaling that we need, we might be able to achieve that with is it Action Cable or whatever, like the individual elements of the microservice don't necessarily have to be ElixirPhoenix themselves. I guess what it would give, though, is individual teams the freedom to experiment with the technologies that they prefer. As long as they're delivering, sufficient performance over the over the interface that's been agreed. In principle, we don't care what language they're in, and that's part of I think the problem as well of having these monoliths is that they're a big thing to take on. And if we can break them up into smaller things, and then people can say, there's that component of your system, I'd like to experiment with rewriting that in Go. That becomes a realistic proposition. Whereas now, if someone comes along and says, right, I'm going to rewrite the whole of Agile Ventures in Go, it's kind of like, maybe you should try something else first, or you know what I mean. In the background here, I'm just going to see if I can deploy a. There's a fair amount of config here to get the get this Phoenix app onto get this Phoenix app up onto Heroku, and then finally we need to okay. So I think I've got the. So you're getting the same error that I got there earlier, Federico.
Okay. Did I skip a step or?
So the thing that I did wrong was at that point was I gave one of the files the wrong name. I would just review like the tree view of that. I think also I noticed there it's like I think it's looking for, at least if the tree view that you've got behind that page is showing an accurate representation of your app, you need like
Uh,
a oh
no, well, sort of. It's slightly. It's
uh,
already out of date, so to speak.
but
Yeah,
so anyway, while that's coming up in the background, like in the error message, it's saying define a template at web/template/hello. Okay, I guess can we see the contents of templates hello there?
yeah, hang on. Well, I guess I could see CDN or LS.
I guess are you limiting the depth because of the npm, the node, all the node things that are in there?
Yeah, I mean, I could have done 4 branches in, but
But
oops.
there's a handy little
You
alias
said
that you might like. I'll just that basically excludes um, it excludes the npm directory and allows you to list like anyway.
okay. Yeah, let me try that. Bonsai, you call it bonsai?
Yeah, and that's I didn't come up with that. It's called bonsai. It's like tree, but there's like a little tree, and it excludes the npm. That's from who is it? I forgot his name now. Yeah, Ptolemy. Ptolemy at Make Academy came up with that.
Okay.
Ptolemy?
Is his name? Yes, we always seem to have an amazing range of names at Make Academy.
Like
Like
like a famous scientist or whatever?
I thought it was like an Egyptian god or something. I don't know.
Uh,
I'll type his name in. Ptolemy.
wasn't he like a mathematician or something?
Very possibly.
Astronomer. Oh, it says he was an astronomer, mathematician.
There's somebody called Ptolemy. I imagine that there's probably more than one person who was
I'm
called.
sure there have been many people called Ptolemy, but
You're thinking of a particular. Yeah, when I saw that, I kind of the only thing I associated it with was some ancient Egyptian thing.
right.
Is that
Yeah,
like a period in ancient Egypt or something?
it's actually Greco-Egyptian, 100 AD.
All right.
So it was part of that, like
Mm-hmm.
that might have been actually Greek or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There was those people that ruled
Mm-hmm.
Egypt for a long time.
Hmm. I'm just over here. I'm creating a proc file
And
that oh god, and then creating environment variables in Heroku. Do I have to do those things as well? Deploy. Okay. All right. Wow.
no, I mean,
Go on.
it's kind of interesting that there was someone named Ptolemy.
Yeah, I was like, wow, what a cool name. There was another person called India.
Uh,
Um, there just seemed to be a lot of okay, now this one. So I've called my thing test. Okay. Oops. What's happening there? It says Uh, seems here like it won't let me run. It's saying mix command not found on Heroku. Hmm. I don't know if I actually need that. And boom, 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 boom. Deploy time. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
Hello?
Hello there. Oh,
Hi.
hey Chris, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, not bad. We were just chatting in Slack, weren't we?
Yeah,
Yes, you wanted to join the stand-up.
I think so.
Yeah, that's starting in about 15 minutes. We're just doing an Elixir pair and Phoenix pair programming session at the moment.
Okay, uh, should I exit?
No, you certainly don't have to. We're just sort of, we're almost at the kind of finishing up here. This is kind of, you can kind of see the stuff that's going on. This is Federico and Michael. Federico and Michael. This is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Federico and Michael.
Hi, Chris.
Hear me. This is Sam. Greetings from London. Um,
Hi, Sam.
Good to see you, Chris. I'm just checking with Federico. Yeah, it looks like are you still struggling with that template issue there?
Yes. I'm not sure. Okay, so I need to open.
Yeah. So while you're stuck on that, on my side, yeah, I'm stuck on like I followed the instructions to try and get things onto Heroku, but basically it's saying it's failed to compile the Elixir app, and it's rejected my push, which don't know, to get status there, which is a shame. We talked about finishing, like we said 35 minutes ago, we'd probably go for 35 minutes. So we've kind of reached that point. It's a shame not to have. It's always nice if you can finish just having solved an error rather than having just encountered one. But I guess we will maybe leave it there for today with the ElixirPhoenix. Does that sound all right to you, Federico?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll figure out what to do here.
Yeah. And feel free to push your code up to a repo if you want to have us take a look at it independently. But yeah, obviously, and carry on working with that. And let me know when and if you want to do another session. It would be certainly great to get some stuff out onto Heroku.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Nice one. All right. My banner is missing, which makes me feel lonely. But there we go. So I guess I will maybe stop the roll. I was going to go make a cup of tea now.